Hello everybody, it's Hannah. I was actually requested to do this video by Hannah Vlogs, and I'm going to link his channel down below. So yeah, you should go check him out. He asked me to recommend books for grade school children, specifically ages 7 to 8 and up. And so I am not good at recommending books for grade schools. So I just am going to be talking about the books that I read around that age. The number one being Junie B. Jones is a great book. I mean, a great series of books. They're so much fun to read. I mean, I remember I would be little and just cackling at this character, Junie B. Jones. She is so funny. I recommend her to anybody. I'm going to get my daughter reading when my daughter starts to grasp reading, where she can read books. I'm going to get her to start reading those because they are just so funny. And they were really the first books that, I don't know, that had like characterization, I felt like characters that like lasted more than one book, which I really enjoyed. And so yeah, I recommend those books. Dr. Seuss books are great. They have a lot of rhyming words. Really helps with like rhyming skills and things like that. Also, the words are typically really easy. Some are, some aren't, but there are words in his books, in Dr. Seuss's books, that are really easy to sound out, like fox, box, lock, I don't know, green eggs and ham are all really easy to kind of sound out. So I liked Dr. Seuss books. There's also another book, Where the Sidewalk Ends, by Shel Silverstein, and I read both of his books, but I can't remember the other one. But they're just little poems that are really funny, and they made me laugh, and I loved them. Another standalone book was Where the Wild Things Are. It's just about this little boy who didn't want to eat his dinner, and so he got sent to his room, and then his imagination goes wild, and he goes where the wild things are. And I like this book because it really shows like imagination, and shows like where your imagination can take you. And as a child, that was always a lot of fun. The Giving Tree. I love The Giving Tree. This is also a standalone book, but I think that there's more than one. I think it might be like there's more by the author that's similar to this, but The Giving Tree broke my heart. I cried so hard as like a little baby reading this book. I would just sit there and cry, and it was so emotional back then. I still am. Who am I kidding? But that one is really good. Let's see, the Amelia Badelia series is really good. It's kind of, I would kind of say it's similar to Junie B. Jones in the fact that it's just about a quirky girl going through different things, like I think like first day of school and things like that. Just those were really funny, and I got a lot of joy out of reading those books. And then this is kind of like the upper level for like 4th and 5th grade. I actually started reading these books in the 4th and 5th grade. Harry Potter is really good, I think. I would say it's an upper level book, especially the first couple. The first couple you can read in elementary school, but I think as it progresses, it gets kind of harder and harder to read. It starts off as middle grade and then moves into young adult. And then also the Nancy Drew series and the Hardy Boys were a lot of fun for me. Nancy Drew, I started reading in the 5th, and actually I read a lot of her books in the 6th and 7th grade. Carolyn Keene's books, they were really good. They're really good mysteries. I love Nancy. I read her books. I play the computer games, which are just phenomenal. Oh my gosh, I love them. I still play the computer games. They're so good. Let's see. The Hardy Boys I didn't read as often, but they were still really good as well. And both of these series are just mystery series. So the next series is The Magic Tree House, and I think you could actually start reading this in like 3rd grade. especially the older ones. I think they're a bit easier to get through for younger kids. It's basically about these kids who just find a magic tree house in the woods, and it just teleports them to a different time period, and they just go on like this huge adventure. And it was that was probably my favorite series growing up, because, well, one of them, because it was just so good. It was just the adventures that they went on, and the creativity and their imagination. I mean, they're going back in time, so it was just a lot of fun to read about. Also, I read Babysitter's Club books, which are just about these girls in a babysitter's club, and they just they babysit, but there's also like some drama, like middle school drama type stuff. But I read those in the 5th grade, actually. And then also American Girl, I read those whenever I got my American Girl dolls. I also got books, so I read those books, and they were actually really easy to read, and they were actually really intense for the age I was reading it at. So you might want to make sure that the kids are like mentally ready. I don't know. I was also like a really big baby, so that could be the reason why. Also, I want to talk about some video games that are good for. My dog is snoring, if you can hear him. My daughter's also asleep, so you might be able to hear them snoring out here. But I also want to talk about some video games or computer games that are really good for kids. My daughter is 5 and she plays these games. So there's 2 games that I want to talk about. It's called, well, there's like 6 games in each series. So there's Pajama Sam, and then there's Freddie Fish. And like I said, I feel like anyone above the age of 5 could like just meander through and beat the game. So they're both mystery series, and like you try to figure out who done it, who did what, and I don't know, they're really good for kids. There are tons of things that you can click on. There's even like learning portions of the game. Like there's, in Freddie Fish, there's multiple math sections where you can just go and do some math, and then there's some reading portions in Pajama Sam. It's a lot of fun. It's a mystery for like 5-year-olds, which is I mean, I even enjoy playing them. So yeah, I would definitely recommend these games. You can find them on Steam. They're just mystery point and click games. They're like, I think you can get like all 6 of them for maybe maybe $6. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. And anyways, so this is my recommendations for children from from age 7 to 8, and then up all the way into like intermediate school. So I really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, or any other recommendations or anything like that, and I will see you later. Bye.